So the downside of this one is a four-letter word. It's called work. And you got to be prepared to do a lot of work in this business. And if you're prepared to do the work, then you can leverage yourself through this type of an opportunity. Andrew Carnegie was one of the great industrialists in the United States, and he invented basically the modern steel industry in this country. And Andrew Carnegie said, I'd rather get paid 1% on the efforts of 100 people instead of 100% of my own efforts. And unfortunately, for most of you in this room tonight, all you make is 100% of your own efforts at your job or whatever you do to make your money. And unfortunately, that is not going to cut it. You're not going to get to the end of your life or to retirement and find yourself in a place that you're going to be happy with. And I'm just speaking frankly tonight because we don't have a lot of time to beat around the bush, okay? So the vast majority of people that pursue the job path their whole life and never have anything of their own end up really disappointed and in a pretty bad financial state. Most trying to survive on Social Security in this country. And those are the facts, okay? So if you want to change that outcome, if you're not satisfied with where you're at, if you're looking for a business because you know that's what you have to do if you're going to make it financially, then you're in a great place tonight. And I'm not going to say to you that this is for everybody. It's not for everybody, all right? But there are some of you, maybe a handful of you in this room tonight, that this will make sense to you, and you'll say, I get that, and I need to figure out how to do that, and you'll engage in it, and it will literally transform your future, like it transformed mine, and literally tens of thousands of other people that I have met over the last 27 years of doing this business in 54 countries around the world. And I've seen it happen for people with lots of education and no education. You know, black, white, male, female, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, doesn't matter. I've seen every kind of person do it in this business, all right? And if you're willing to get in, be coachable, and learn it, then you can do some amazing things. All right, let's talk about market trends first. We have, in this business, 4 major global trends that are pushing us forward. When I look at a business, if you're here tonight to say, okay, I got to see if this is a business that I can do or that fits me. Okay, here's what I look for when I look at a business. I say, what are the sectors in the economy that are growing at much faster rates than the overall economy? And we all know that the Fed's been trying to get this economy to grow at 2% in this country for a lot of years now, okay? We're just sub 2% growth in this country every year. So it's anemic, right? That's not going to cut it for being in a business that only grows 2%. You've got to be in a business where you get 20, 30, 40% annual growth rates. By definition, that rising tide will lift all ships, right? And if you can find that kind of a market segment, figure out how to get into it, how to position yourself in front of it, then you can absolutely, go for the ride, and the trend will do a lot of the work for you. A lot of super successful people, you may look at them and think they got to be geniuses or something. Guess what? They're not. They were at the right place at the right time where they attached themselves to a trend. In a place in the economy that took off, and they just happened to be there, and they were smart enough to hang on to it and push it all they could, right? Well, these are 4 areas, right? This anti-aging thing is massive. It's growing at 20+% a year. And why is it growing? Because today, unlike the rest of human history on this planet, we now have millions of people living into their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. And they want to live better longer. And they want to look better longer, right? I mean, that's the truth of it, right? Who cares to live long if you spend the last 10 years on a gurney or in some wheelchair or in a bed? Who cares, right? That's torture. You might as well be gone by then. So if you're going to live long, you want to live well. And if you're going to live long and well, then you want to look good while you're doing it. We've done a lot of research on this anti-aging, philosophy that people have in their heads out there. It's really interesting. People don't necessarily mind getting old, like having birthday after birthday. They kind of hope to keep having birthdays, right? So it's not like they necessarily mind getting old. What they mind is getting ugly. That's what they hate about getting old. If they didn't have to get ugly, they wouldn't mind getting old so bad, right? And so people want to look better longer. This is a recent phenomenon. In all of human history, most people died in their 40s. Was there a lot of anti-aging demand then? No, they died before they got wrinkles, right? Today, people are living long. They're getting a lot more wrinkles. So there's this big, huge focus on anti-aging. And it's booming. And it's growing. And it goes anything from health food to health clubs to, athletic workout clothing, Lululemon and Athletica. And it goes on to, all these different things. Okay, yoga, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Whole Foods and all the health food stores that are out there, supplementation, skin treatments, Botoxes, and all the other kinds of treatments, everything. All these things that are focused on anti-aging. So that's a market you can attach to, and health and wellness is part of that. It goes hand in hand with living better longer, looking better longer. Technology and communication have changed the world. In the last 20 years, the whole world's been networked. Prior to that, if you thought to yourself, how would I call somebody in China 20 years ago, how would you even do it? You probably couldn't even get the phone book at the library, which is where you'd probably go to get it, okay? So today, you can talk to anybody, any place, for as long as you want for virtually free, anywhere in the world, right? And there's multiple avenues to do it. So many different ways to connect and share information, and you can do it for almost free. When I started doing this, it was routine that I would have a $1,500 to $2,000 per month phone bill. Remember those phones that had cords that were plugged into walls? Yeah, okay, that is how we started doing this. Fax machines and phones, okay? And it was expensive in those days. And we'd say, well, we'll send you something. We'd have to FedEx them a videotape overnight for 30 bucks, right? Well, today you can say, go to this website, watch this, and I'll call you in 4 minutes, okay? It doesn't cost you anything. It is so much easier to build it. It's a great spot to be in a network when the world's become a network. Number 4 is supplemental income. As I mentioned a moment ago, most of the world is really ill-prepared for retirement. Most people at retirement are looking at a 50 to 75% lifestyle cut the day they retire. They do not have the income stream in place to sustain them, and that's no fun to do it. Sometimes an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month makes the total difference between some dignity in retirement and complete groveling. Okay, you're not going to dig ditches when you're 70. I promise you, your back's not going to do it anymore. So what are you going to do to make some supplemental income? It'd be great if all you had to do was move your mouth and talk to people and live an anti-aging lifestyle, because you're talking about it and teaching it. You age slower because you're doing it, and you're living it, and you're thinking about it, okay? So you're educated on that whole thing. So just remember, on market trends, the most important thing in any business, first thing you do is identify the big trends in the economy and then align yourself with one of those trends. Most entrepreneurs make a really big mistake. What they do is they go try to find a really cool product. That's not the most important thing. You can have the coolest product ever, but if there's no demand in the market for that product, and you've got to go try to create all the demand, that's expensive, high risk, will take you probably more than your lifetime to do it. What you want to do is find segments where there's already demand, and then find a way to find a product that matches the demand, or join a team like ours that already has products that match that demand, and you don't have to go try to figure it out yourself, right? And so that is the key. Okay, we're done with trends. That's number 1. Everybody got that? Did you make some notes? Don't just sit there. Write something down. You won't remember anything in three hours if you don't write something down, right? It's true. These businesses didn't exist 10 years ago. Every one of them are multi-billion-dollar businesses today. And it's all because of that connectivity that we're talking about, right? All right, let's talk about your house for a moment. Tonight, I told you I'm going to introduce a new technology to you, and this technology is targeted at a certain room in your house. And if you want to talk about different rooms in people's houses, then let's talk about a couple of these. So your living room probably is captured by some company that is collecting a monthly stream for the programming that comes to the TV. Did anybody ever ask you to go out and say to you, hey, if you go out and sell our service, we'll pay you a monthly commission on all the houses that watch their television on our service for the rest of your life? Nobody probably invited you to do that, did they? Okay? Keurig or Nespresso has probably taken over your kitchen or a bunch of your kitchens, and you buy small K-cups or little cartridges you can put in to make a custom blend of coffee just to your liking, and you can do it instantly, right? And the average spend on a Keurig coffee machine is about 30 bucks a month. And there are 50+ million Keurig brewers in homes in North America today. 50 million. Do you know they've sold over 40 billion K-cups? Did anybody come to you and say, hey, if you want to distribute these Keurig machines, we'll pay you on the coffee people brew every day for the rest of their lives, and whatever they consume, we'll pay you a piece of that? Anybody get invited to that one? No, I didn't think so. Okay? All right. How about, ADT or Vivint? You have this home security system, you pay them every month to monitor your house, doors, windows, and intruders and whatnot. Did anybody invite you to say, if you'll go put these systems in people's houses, we'll pay you on the monthly monitoring for the rest of your life? Probably not, okay? All right, and so we've got, some other ones. Your kitchen, maybe your home office, where you've got your HP printer, your Epson printer, and the ink cartridges run out, and it just bugs you that you have got to pay that much to buy those ink cartridges and stick them back in that printer, right? Did anybody come to you and say, if you put these printers in people's houses, we'll pay you on the ink that they consume for the rest of your life? Probably not, okay? Is that a big business? HP is a big company, huge. Did you know that last year 40% of their corporate profit came from ink? Ink. Not scientific equipments and big, huge, diagnostic pieces and supercomputers, right? Ink. Okay? Consumption. This is the Gillette model, folks. They almost give you the razor so you buy the blades for the rest of your life. They make the money on the blades, right? Okay, this is like the best business model you can come across in your life, but usually companies just grab them and do it. They never invite you to participate. So we're going to invite you today, and we're going to actually target the bathroom. And we're going to target it with this new device that's called ageLOC Me, okay? And this is a daily use device that looks just like this. In fact, I had one shipped over here so I can show you one. There's only a few of these in the country right now. So there it is. And when I pop the top of that, what does that look like inside? Oh, wow, that looks kind of like printer cartridges, doesn't it? Check that out. There's 5 of them in there, okay? And those cartridges get used up every month. And every month a new set of cartridges gets shipped to people to their house so they can utilize a customized set of skin cream for them. It's customized exactly for them. So let's talk about this for just a minute. And I just want to note that the bathroom happens to be the only room in your house that you have to go in every day. You can skip all the others, but you got to go in that one, don't you? Okay, so we're going to try to take over the bathrooms of the world. That's our target with this technology. Let me tell you a story about how this technology happened. We did, 6 years ago, a comprehensive global survey of our customers. We talked to over 5,000 of our customers in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. And when they gathered all that data and came back to the home office and started analyzing what were people's desires in the anti-aging skincare regime, the company finally said, we need to make like 300 different products to meet the needs of all these people. And they started asking the question, how could we make 300 products that are different, that meet all these different needs, right? We don't want to have that many SKUs in our warehouse and try to manage that kind of inventory, so how would you do it? And that's when they came up with this idea that no one had ever thought of before, to create a machine that could 3D print your skin cream in the palm of your hand on demand. Now, does everybody know about 3D printing? 3D printing is brand new and it's coming, and it's going to be a massive multi-billion-dollar industry. And so we're right on the cutting edge of multiple industries that are booming right now. These trends we're talking about, okay, we're the first company to 3D print your skincare customized to you in the palm of your hand, in your house, in your bathroom. All right, so we've got this amazing technology, and I'll talk a little more about that in the second session for those that are serious about this, that want to understand how you can play in this game, how you can capture thousands of bathrooms and get paid on those, literally, for as long as they consume those cartridges, all right? So that's the plan. So Nu Skin came up with this idea. They've got 4 patents, 27 claims. We actually have these cartridges vacuum sealed. They cannot be contaminated. We can use product ingredients that you have never been able to use before in skincare. Why? Okay, because it was bottles and jars and tubes. That's what skincare has been centered around as far as the delivery mechanism, right? It comes in bottles, jars, or tubes. You've been to the department store lately? Seen all the bottles, jars, and tubes when you walk in the door? Okay? That's the fact. Every one of those have to contain antimicrobials and antibacterial agents because you contaminate them every time you stick your finger in them or swipe them on your palm and then rub it on your face, okay? You put bacteria back into the container. And so if you don't have antibacterials and microbials, then you grow a petri dish in your skincare jar, okay? So because of those agents, there's certain ingredients you can't use because if they're kind of live or active ingredients, those things tend to kill them. Some ingredients don't play well together. You can't even mix them together because they'll neutralize each other within a few hours, okay? And so all of a sudden now we can hold those separate. We can 3D print them on demand at the point of use, like instant usage. super potent, super pure, no bacteria, no contamination, ingredients you've never been able to use before, and all of a sudden you end up with this amazing product that has never been available before. And so it's powerful, okay? I'm just here to tell you that the game just changed, guys. Bottles and jars are dead, okay? That's old school now. We just broke the mold. We just created the new school right here. Everybody's going to have to respond. But those 4 patents with 27 claims are going to slow them down. Now, Paris is the skincare capital of the world. It is, whether you believe that or not, okay? Certainly the Parisians believe that, right? So Paris is #1 when it comes to cosmetics and skincare. And in Paris, in mid-February, Nu Skin conducted a media day. They had a press conference. And the word got out to L'Oreal, which is the biggest, skincare, anti-aging, and cosmetic company in the world. All right, about $30 billion in annual sales. And they ended up sending 20 people from L'Oreal to this press conference. They were acting like they were like press agents, or what's the word I'm looking for? Public relations people. But they were really their scientists. And they were taking pictures, and they were opening the machine and looking at it, and these guys were like freaked out. Like, we just became obsolete. Look what these guys are doing with this, 3D printing of skincare. I mean, our bottles and jars look pretty stupid compared to this now, don't they? Yeah. And so everybody's going to have to respond. Estee Lauder, everybody, they have to respond. They cannot just sit there on their bottles and jars and know that we're killing them in terms of product quality, ingredients you never could use, the 3D printing and dispensing, and the customization. Now, McDonald's used to be the antithesis of customization. You walked in and said, I like a Big Mac, but will you change this or that? No, I want this. No. You want a Big Mac? Here it is. You don't? See you later. Okay? Even now, I'm seeing billboards where you can customize your sandwich at McDonald's. Everybody is customizing everything. You order your Tesla, you customize it, okay? I mean, everybody wants to customize. And when it comes to your personal anti-aging, this is of paramount importance, isn't it? You go and download an app to your smartphone. You answer the 15 or so questions on this app. You have pictures of skin and you dial it in with your finger. Less wrinkly, more wrinkly. Smaller pores, bigger pores. Bad texture, good texture. And you dial it in until it matches your skin. The phone has a GPS chip in it. We know your latitude, longitude. We know your average temperatures and humidity where you live. All of a sudden, all that data gets crunched and it produces a code. And that code tells Nu Skin which cartridges to send to you for where you live, your age, your time, and who you are. Okay? So you can get over 2,000 customized formulas 3D printed for you in your hand. Now tell them to do that with their bottles and jars. They can't do it. Okay? So we are the first mover on this technology, and we have first mover advantage, right? So let's talk a little bit about some of these things. It's the first personalized smart skin device. It's smart because just like the Nest thermostat in your house, it learns how you use this. It knows when you stick your hand in it and it wants to dispense the product, right? And it knows when it's morning and it knows when it's night, and it knows which formula you get for morning and night. And after you do this for a week, it starts to learn that you put your hand in there almost at 7 a.m. every morning. So after 1 week, it starts to flash at you at 7 a.m. Put your hand in me. That's what it starts doing, okay? And at 9:30 at night, it'll say, put your hand in me, because that's when you normally do this, okay? It is absolutely cool how this thing works, okay? So first, smart skin device. 2,000 plus formulas. The 35 million is wrong. I got an update. It's over 40 million Nu Skin's invested in this single technology over the last 6 years. So, we get to take advantage of this, right? We got 4 patents and 27 claims. We got hygienic hands-free delivery, right? No contamination at all. And use of new ingredients. And so this is powerful stuff. This is not available until October of this year. It's going to launch about the middle of October in the Americas. And so what we're looking for tonight, what I'm doing traveling around the country and giving these presentations, I'm trying to find entrepreneurs who get the vision here and who say, what I want to do is I want to know how to position for this thing. Because you got 6 months and 2 weeks to get ready for this before it launches, okay? And if you want to really make hay with this thing, then it would be well if you had a strategy in place so you were ready to move and you're ready for the launch of this particular product. Today there's 38 cartridges. In the future there'll be many more cartridges, okay? We can do it based on skin type, ethnicity, we can do acne treatments, we can do men formulas, we can do all these different things. And men, just so you're not freaked out, okay, this is not makeup. Okay, don't be confused. Men don't understand this one, so just bear with me for a minute, okay? There's something called skincare and there's something called makeup, and they're two separate things. We're not asking you to use makeup, men, okay? We're asking you to use skincare and take care of yourself so you don't look like a heap as you get older, okay? Men don't want to look, horrible either, right? The fastest growing segment of skincare, frankly, is men today. Men are starting to finally recognize, hey, I should be taking care of my skin. It's the largest organ in my body. I need to watch it, take care of it, make sure it happens, right? So that's what we're going to do. There's so many line extensions we can do off of this product line that it's very exciting. Now, we work with skin, body, and also health. JR talked about that when he stepped up today. We have these amazing products. I can show you another one here. So this device right here is called a facial spot. It's the only FDA-cleared device that has been approved that actually is for use on your face, immediate treatment. We do a 5-minute demonstration on half your face, and the results are dramatic. When people look at the end of 5 minutes with this galvanic current, this device has 2 patents. Nu Skin did not invent this one internally like they did ageLOC Me. Somebody walked in the door and already had invented this, and Nu Skin bought the worldwide rights to it. Okay? So we've sold now over 4 million of these devices. 4 million, okay? We're going to sell way more ageLOC Me devices than we did this one. Okay, this is a great thing. It does a nice little immediate treatment for you, but people only use it every 3 or 4 days, maybe once a week. So it's not a daily use product. It doesn't drive anywhere near the consumptive volume that you're going to drive through an ageLOC Me device, okay? So that's why it is so much bigger than really anything else that we've ever done, actually, okay? So that's that one. We have others in here. If you want to strip fat, we have a product that's not a diet, but it actually strips fat off your body and retains your muscle tissue. Most diets destroy lean tissue as part of a weight loss. This one doesn't do that, and that's why it's unique. The biophotonic scanner. This was the last one that I saw that I thought was the best business I'd ever seen. And I built a whole new team with this particular rollout. I built them all over the world, and it's been more than 15 million in commissions to me on that one rollout alone, right there, okay? This ageLOC Me is bigger. Why? Because this device, as cool as this device is, let's see, I guess it's in the back of the room.
Here you go.
You can see it, okay? As cool as this device is, it really is suited for somebody like JR that's got a chiropractic office and people come through and he's got a steady stream of people he can scan. It's not like everybody wants to end up having this device at their house so they can just scan periodically for other people. I mean, they're somewhat expensive to lease, right? So this has been super because it created literally millions of new users of our nutritional supplements, because we can prove to people for the first time whether their supplements were working or not in their body. No one's ever been able to prove that until now. Until now, you just would kind of guess and think, I think they were, I hope they're working, I think they are, but you never really knew for sure. Well, now we can scan you, and based on the score produced in the scanner, we know whether your nutrients are getting into your tissue or not. And this still, after 15 years, we're the only ones who can do it. We've scanned 22 million people worldwide with this. 22 million. Okay? So we've created millions of new users. This has changed the health of the world. So far, it's been like one of the biggest impactful things in supplementation and nutrition. If you've not been scanned, you should get scanned tonight on this device and know where your nutritional store is. Because if it's low, you're in trouble. You want to get it high and protect yourself, right? So this has been a very, very powerful product for us. We've made lots of money with that. But again, it's not like an ageLOC Me. An ageLOC Me is going to go into a bathroom, and there might be 2 in a lot of bathrooms. Because your husband's still in your skincare now, you don't know it, but he is, okay? You're going to want to have him use his own formula, not your formula. He's got to go fill out his own app, his own assessment, and get his own cartridges, right? You don't want him using your cartridges, okay? You got that? So a lot of homes may end up with 2 of these devices, these ageLOC Me's, that are dispensing the product. All right, so when I started, no scientists. Today we're more than 75 PhD-level scientists on staff in 3 laboratories around the world for Nu Skin, and all they do all day long is break this barrier on anti-aging and try to make better products, okay? We're finished with products and science. So we did trends, we did products and science. We're now on number 3. Did you guys write down anything about products and science? Write something down. You won't remember if you don't, okay? Number 3, let's talk about the company. So if you're going to start a business, either you can go do it all yourself and raise all the money, try to figure out all the products, and do all the accounting and legal and yourself. Or you can just look at a company like ours and say, they've done all that, I just need to plug into it and go to work and build a team. Okay? And that's it. That's as simple as it is. So when you do that, you want to know who the partner is. Your partner is Nu Skin. They're the ones that are doing all of those normal functions and funding all of that you don't have to fund. Okay? This is a great company. 54 countries we're doing business in. Someday we'll be in more than 100 countries. So we're just in the middle of our global expansion, basically. And you'll find out if you do this business for any length of time that it's amazing. It's like magic that you can get paid while you're sleeping. How many of you get paid while you're sleeping? Well, not very many. Most people have to kind of like go to a place called work and do something, and then they get paid. And then they stop at 5 or 6 o'clock and go home. And they don't get paid again until they go back to work the next day, right? Well, when you build a business in Nu Skin like I've been able to build, when we go to sleep here, that's okay. Asia's waking up. So when Asia goes to sleep, that's okay. Europe wakes up. And when Europe goes to sleep, that's okay. The Americas wake up again. And we literally make money 24/7. I get paid out of 54 countries every month right now. All right? So I've got a diversified income stream. I don't depend on just the U.S. dollar for my livelihood. I've got all these different economies and countries, you know. An earthquake happens someplace, you know, and it wipes out a whole town like it did in Japan a few years ago from a tsunami. If your business is in that town, you're history. You know, maybe some of you have invested your whole life in just one location. And if a fire hits it or earthquake hits it or something happens, you know, it can be all over pretty quick. It's pretty amazing to be distributed all over the world with your business in this network that's not really based any place. It's just a network that happens to consume product and pay you. And when those people wake up every morning, I know they're putting themselves in the shower and putting my shampoo on their head and my body cleansing lotion on their body, and they're using my aftershave, or they're using my hair gel, or they're using my toothpaste, or they're blending their morning shake with my shake. They're taking my supplements and vitamins, they're using my lip gloss, and they're using my sunscreens, and it's called product consumption in a massive scale all over the world. So today, I can't take that many showers to make that much money, can I? No, my network doesn't depend on me at all. I'm kind of doing what Andrew Carnegie talked about. I'm making 1%, I'm making 5% on the efforts of 500,000 people instead of 100% of my own efforts. That's what happened because of this particular kind of vehicle that makes that a possibility, okay? So we got two lifestyles here. The first lifestyle, number one, is where we do 25 years of schooling, 40 years of work, we enjoy life, and then it's over. Does that sound like anybody's life? Okay? There's a better way. So lifestyle number two is you probably do the same kind of education, but then you work a shorter time. You find a vehicle that can allow you to compress time. So you can accomplish a lot more in a shorter time frame because you have the concept of leverage built into that vehicle. And that's what we have here today. And then you enjoy life a lot longer, and then it's over. Okay? It's still over. At some point it'll be over. Okay? But you lived a better life. You had a higher quality of life while you were going through the process. There's a lot more to life than just work, right? There's a lot of other great things to do out there. And work's certainly important. I am passionate about my work, and I actually have fun doing it. It doesn't feel like work to me, frankly, because I enjoy talking about these things and the other activities I'm engaged in. So you just got to find your passion, and then it's not work. And if you're changing people's lives and helping them, then it's a pretty amazing thing. All right, number 4 is compensation. We're almost done with this first part. Everybody tracking? You wrote down something about your partner, Nu Skin? Yes. Got it? Okay, number 4, compensation. All right, so everybody starts in this company as a distributor. That's what happened to me after that phone call back in 1989. I signed up, and I had to qualify to become an executive. It took me 2 months. I had to do a certain amount of volume, then I could become an executive in Nu Skin. This is the first leadership position. The average income is $5,500 a year. Now, that's not a lot of money, but it didn't take very long to get there either. It was like 2 months on average for people to get there. Now, that starts to pay for piano lessons, swimming lessons, maybe it pays for part of your car payment, house payment. It's just the beginning of what happens to people when they start to do leadership in this company. We suggest you do this business in 4s. So the first thing you do is you go find 4 people that will become executives like you. And when you do that, you become a Ruby executive. The income's about 30 grand a year. It's just a nice little part-time business you've started, about $2,500 a month that now comes into your family budget every month. The average time it takes people to do that is about 1 year on average, from the day they start till the day they're a Ruby. Once you become a Ruby, then Nu Skin will send you on a nice trip someplace for you and your significant other as a nice little reward to say, this is what you want to keep doing with us. You want to keep doing these 3 trips, right? Once you stabilize your 4 and get that solid, then you actually go get the next 4. And now you're a diamond. And average incomes for diamond is $105,000 a year, about $8,700 a month. The average time to get there is about 3 years from the day people start. That's the average. Some do it sooner, some take a little longer. It just depends on how much time and effort you want to put into the business. At that point, as a diamond, people have options now. It's kind of like, you know what, I can actually fire my boss if I want to. You know, I can actually go do this full time if I want to. And so that's a place that you might want to think about getting there as quick as you can. And then the next one, the last 4, so you end up with 12 executives on your front line. It's called Blue Diamond. Average income last year was $547,000, about $45,000 a month, which is a phenomenal income in pretty much anybody's book. And once you build a team that's around the world like I have, those kinds of checks just keep coming in month after month into your bank. Because it's not you that's doing it anymore. It's this entire network of consumption that's out there that's generating the volume that you're getting those commissions on, okay? So when we stop and talk about another little feature of this plan, I want to do this just very quickly. Last month, we made an announcement that changed the front end of our compensation plan. So we have something called a qualifying pool. The qualifying pool is something you can participate in your second month in the business. Anybody in this room join Nu Skin at the end of March? Anybody in this room? No, not one person in this room joined at the end of March, okay? Well, that's pretty surprising. I would think we'd have somebody at least at the end of March. Well, let's just pretend somebody did then, okay? All right, if somebody joined at the end of March and you placed your letter of intent, notifying Nu Skin of your intent to become an executive, the first position, then they start to track you in their computer. They're watching your volume. As soon as you do 4,500 points in volume, then bingo, you're an executive. So if you joined on the last day of March, then you could actually go get 4 people to get their letters of intent in April, and you would be in the qualifying pool for April. Those shares are about $400 each. So you would get an additional check for $1,600 on May 21st for your April participation in the qualifying bonus pool, okay? If you have 8 shares, then you're going to get $3,200. If you got 12 shares, you're going to make over $5,000. And you do that in your first full month of operation in the Nu Skin opportunity, okay? So you need to learn about this qualifying pool. There's also an executive pool. So the upline executives who help create those qualifiers get the same match of commission, the same share match in the executive pool. And what this is intended to be is a bridge that takes you from where you're at today in your regular job to where you want to be, where you've got control of your life, your time, your freedom, your income stream, and you're in charge now, okay? So if you want to do this, there's a strategy where you can actually do something every month, a consistent, recruiting and sponsoring that will put you in that bonus pool every month for your first year. So you can make an extra 2, 3, 4, 5,000 every month while you're building that underlying consumption, okay? Nu Skin takes almost 2% of the entire region's sales, which is about $300,000 a month, and they put it in these pools for you and I to split it up among those that are really willing to work. And the ones that don't do very much don't participate in the pool, right? But those that do a lot actually get bigger shares of these pools. So it's meant for the person who's an entrepreneur that's aggressive, that says, I get it, I want to build a team so that I can roll this thing out when ageLOC me hits, okay? All right, so let's just say you go on a trip. We know that. That's good. Okay. Nu Skin has created over 1,200 millionaires since the beginning of the company. Actually paid these people over $1 million in compensation since they joined the business. And this happens about every 3 days now. That every 3 days, we're out there making a new millionaire in the business. Now that, I'm sure that happens where you work right now, doesn't it? Like when you walk in the morning, do they have a new person's face up there every 3 days and say, welcome, the new millionaire in our company? They don't do that where you work? Really? Not, never? Never? Why are you working there? You know? So we have this ability to continue to create these people, and it's pretty remarkable. Okay, so the window of opportunity kind of looks like this. Okay, there's kind of three parts to this. You can start now, or you can start later. If you start later, that's your missed opportunity. It just kind of goes without saying that you know, that's what you miss by waiting. So this is a change, and like any change, it's hard for people. So for you to say tonight, okay, I get this thing, I want to participate in this opportunity, that's a change in your life. And as creatures of habit, we have to fight to change. Otherwise, we don't change. We just keep going back and forth doing the same thing because that's what's comfortable to us, right? I just got to tell you, nothing happens inside your comfort zone. That's just the same old run-of-the-mill life that you're living, okay? The magic happens out here. Here's your comfort zone. The magic happens over here, way outside your comfort zone. And so that's why it's hard for people to change, because it's, by definition, uncomfortable. Okay? You're doing something different, something new that you haven't done before. And that's what it takes, though, if you want to really change things in your life and in your future. You've got to get outside that normal little bubble you're in, and you've got to put yourself out there a little bit and go have some fun. You know, who has much fun just going back and forth every day? That's the same old rat race, right? Why don't you figure out how to have some fun and create some excitement? I mean, to me, this is electrifying. I can see what's going to happen with this opportunity. Maybe I see it better than you see it because I've experienced it once or twice, okay? You are super lucky if you find something like this once in your life. When you're in the right place at the right time where somebody comes along and shows you something and it just clicks and you know for sure that it's going to be big. And then you don't do anything about it, okay? This is the time to reach up and grab the brass ring, folks. You know, this is one where you can really go make a difference. You know, I've got a strategy where I can show you how to distribute 10,000 of those ageLOC Me devices. If you were to get 10,000 of those devices out there through building a network of people, then you're going to make $1 million a year for the rest of your life. That's the commission on the consumptive cartridges. Okay? So you put out 1,000 of these over the next 4 or 5 years in your whole team, okay, all over the world, okay, you're going to make, you know, 100,000 a year for the rest of your life. All right, so that's what we're talking about. It's not a little thing, okay? There's going to be people that will do a lot more than 10,000 of these in their team. Okay, so you just got to, like, decide if it's something for you. If it isn't, that's okay. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. You know, if it is something for you, then you know what, you need to stick around. Okay, so we're done with this section. We're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm going to start at 8:02 on that next piece, and I will only go 30 minutes because I got to get on my plane. Okay, so thank you for being here. We'll see you in 10 minutes. All right.